Welcome back to CIAA. This is Expediting Change. I am so blessed. I am your host, Shomari James. I must not have said anything crazy to get invited back another year, so I appreciate that. I appreciate being invited back. Today, I have a very, very special guest sitting next, the First Lady, Hana. Can we do a round of applause real quick? Ready to chop it up?
Yes, thank you. It feels so good to be here. I love CIAA. I'm so excited that it's still here in Baltimore. And then also, thank you again for the team for inviting me here. And thank you for being
Absolutely.
willing to talk to me. I'm
Oh,
just a regular, degular, smuggler girl from Baltimore.
no. You are the First Lady. But listen, I did hear that they were trying to like take CIAA. They had like some spies coming up to, how do you say? I'm from Buffalo, New York, so, but I heard it's Baltimore. Is it
Baltimore.
Baltimore?
Yeah,
All
it's
right, they have some
Baltimore.
spies and they were trying to steal CIAA from Baltimore. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the difference here is that CIAA is wanted and
Yeah.
needed here.
Yeah.
It's a black city. You hear the mayor say all the time, it's a big, wiggity black city.
Yeah.
And black excellence, and it's not just we're not just focused on the parties, right? We're focused on the tournament. We're focused
Yeah.
about all the leadership events and the workshops and the resources for even the young students
Absolutely.
who may not have considered college as a path for them. And so there's just so many activations. There's so many things that happen in the city for CIAA, and it's here to stay at least through 2029.
Absolutely. We're gonna, and then after too, we're gonna keep it locked
Yes.
in. Whatever I could do to help, right?
Yes.
So the good thing about CIAA, a rising tide raises all ships. So to be able to bring individuals in and who is in front of you that you learn from, and then somebody behind you that you are teaching, and that's kind of like what CIAA is promoting. But yourself, you have a public life. You also have business. You're super busy. Like, how do you balance everything? Like, I know today is going to be a long day for you. So how do you get your balance in?
You know, I think balance is a myth. I don't really think there's a such thing. I think there's just seasons where some things take priority, and then there's seasons where you have to put some things on the back end. So sometimes I feel like I'm killing it in business, and then I have to say, "Ooh, I haven't spent any one-on-one time with my 10-year-old," and so we do
Love
like
that.
a mommy-son date. Or, I'm killing it as a mom, and then I say, oh, it might be time for me to do some business development because I'm not putting my all into my business. And so you really just have to think about what your non-negotiables are and prioritize. And like I said, it's seasons. It's not, it's a myth.
I love it.
Balance and having it all is a myth. You really gotta
They
prioritize.
say you can have everything, but just not all at one time, right?
Exactly.
No, I agree. I believe that there's ebbs and flows as opposed to, sometimes it's 100 miles an hour and then sometimes it's 1,000 miles an hour. So what does that look like for you for that respite, that downtime? Like what keeps you grounded?
Ooh, well, it's something that I'm still learning, but a few things that keep me grounded. One, my family. My husband is super supportive. He's on me about my physical health, my mental health, making sure I'm eating, making sure I'm moving my body, making sure I'm taking time for myself. I have a therapist who I talk to very often, and she helps me to put things in perspective and reframe things and give me some other coping strategies. And I have a pop-in group chat.
Okay, pop in
And
group chat.
when I really want to clap back and I can't, I just type it and put it in the group chat instead.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So those are just a few things
I
that keep
love
me
that.
grounded.
So that's your outlet, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm a Gemini, so I understand that all day. There is Shamari who does the podcast, and then there is Akil who I go to my group chat and I say things that we delete right away. So I
Right.
totally understand that.
Use invisible ink.
Exactly, because some stuff you just cannot say out loud, right?
Right.
We were having a conversation. No hot mics, no hot mics.
Right.
So in keeping you grounded, I want to touch on that thread or pull on that thread about therapy, because no longer should therapy be taboo in the Black community.
Yes.
So let's just talk about that, because this is Expediting Change, and a function to help us expedite change right now today is us getting help for our spiritual and mental connection. So we'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think coming out of the pandemic, people started to realize how much mental and physical health is important, not just one or the other. And I love that therapy is not as taboo in the Black community because I absolutely push therapy. And it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to admit that you're not okay.
Absolutely.
I had a really challenging time, even in 2025, just newly becoming a mom of 3, in that postpartum period, I was not okay. Brandon would say, I'm worried about you. My friends and family would send me a text and they say, you don't sound like your normal self. We're coming over to hold the baby.
No doubt.
And it's okay to admit, you know what, I need some support.
Absolutely.
Whatever I'm doing is not working and I need to change something, because you can't keep pouring to others if you're empty.
Absolutely. I love that. You got to have somebody pouring into you and supporting you so then you can pour into others. I absolutely love how you just said that so publicly, because now if I can see it and I can hear it from First Lady, then I can go out and I can do it myself. So I love that therapy is no longer taboo in our community. So as we're moving towards our close, is there anything in particular that you want to talk about? I say oftentimes what gets measured makes progress, right? So in order to expedite change, what are some of the things that you look forward to that you measure to make sure that things are getting better in your business, in your life, in therapeutic sessions, just overall? Like if you want to give some advice to the people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things, and if you've heard me talk anytime recently, I'm going to say this over and over again. I think the number is about 400,000 Black women have been pushed out of the workforce. And that was intentional, But there are also some other numbers. Black women are one of the fastest demographics of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But the challenge is the lack of access, the lack of capital, and the inability to sustain past 3 or 5 years to keep that business going. And so what I've decided is I want to work intentionally with Black women-led organizations, Black-led organizations, or mission-based organizations. And I feel like if I can help with kind of setting that foundation, you don't build a house without a foundation, right? And if you have your operational foundations, if you have your system set up, if you're able to automate, if you're able to stop doing the things you hate and go back to doing the things you love, then you can actually extend.
Absolutely.
I want to contribute to the number of Black women business owners who are extending past 3 or 5 years. And that's just really what's on my heart right now. And everything that I do centers around that, around Black women.
I absolutely love that. And we know that Black women, I don't necessarily have a statistic for it, but we know that Black women are one of the most undervalued races in the country, period, point blank. I was having a conversation with my mom the other day about her physical therapist. He's only going to give you the bare minimum, Mom. You have to go in there and demand it. So I absolutely loved your answer. I love the work that you're doing. Sincerely appreciate you. No shots fired, but I know the mayor is absolutely dope, but they say no matter how dope of a man standing there, there's an even doper woman standing next to him. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. I always like to say that I'm the catch here, but.
Yeah. Please give it up for the First Lady of Baltimore.